Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Welcome to Bothering the Band. We're here with an amazing, amazing band that we are forcing ourselves to be friends with. Give it up for Tres Leches. Yeah.
We're giving it up for ourselves.
Yes. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for inviting us.
Selfishly, I am a big fan of your music. I really love it. I found it through KEXP
Thank
when
you.
you guys were on there. How was that? Was that a milestone for you being on KEXP?
The
Yeah.
video?
Yeah, definitely. It was, I don't know, it's probably like one of the most nervous I've been in my whole life. But it went well, you know. You kind of create these things in your mind. You're like, oh, I'm gonna mess it up and everything. But once you're playing, you forget about everything, you know, honestly.
Of course. As a music lover, you know, that radio station is everywhere and huge. So it's like, I'm sure it's such a milestone for you guys.
Yeah, it's funny because just to be transparent, I also work there. No correlation between how we got on there at all. It took us, you know, like 5 or 6 years of being a band to get noticed and then event to the point where we were on there. But it's funny because I actually work filming bands there. I'm a videographer there, so it's funny to be on the other side of it and being in front of the camera. I didn't think I would be as nervous. I also like, you know, like I was kind of like working with my boss there, you know, he was like, oh, what do you want for the lights, Alaia, you know, like
Yeah.
and I felt like I was doing my job, like going in there just being like, oh yeah, let's setting up for the band. Oh, but the band is also me. So once it was funny because going in, I didn't feel like it was like, I felt like I was going into work, you know. I felt like it was a very familiar space. And then once it was like you hear the countdown, all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, this is a different experience. And and then for me, it was almost like caught off guard in the last 10 seconds to the countdown. But I always really like that feeling of being, you know, that adrenaline rush before any kind of show, whether it's that KHP live performance or performing live in front of 40 people or 500 people or 1,000 people.
Yeah.
It's cool. Each reason you get like a different adrenaline rush. I think that moment tells you like it's going to be a unique experience for you, and it helps make up a better performance for you.
Yeah. Do you guys have any rituals before you perform, or?
I just stretch a lot because usually I start, because we switch a lot, and usually I start playing the drums. So I found out that if I stretch, it kind of like relaxes my mind too. But I don't know what they she warms up a lot. That so we're like in separate spaces, you know.
One of us will take the car to warm up. The other one will be in the band room or the green room. I also walk. I take a walk before the show to also try and get into that headspace. There's usually a moment before the show where I'll tend to psych myself out and be like, you're gonna get up there and you're not. Do you even remember the guitar part for No Llores? You don't even remember it, do you? And so I just kind of take a walk, go around and like listen to all those thoughts and let them kind of filter through. And that way they just go through beforehand, and it's like let's get this all out of the way.
Yeah.
And then it's like once you get all that out, then you can kind of remember what you're doing that show for and come into that headspace for the show.
Kind of honestly, you kind of miss that a lot too, you know, like when before the pandemic, it was something that you didn't know how to handle it, but you know, it was part of the experience.
Yeah.
And now after the pandemic, you kind of realize that those moments were actually very unique, you know, and like very good to feel, you know. It was part of the show, part of like the whole like playing live, being a band, being an artist, and kind of I personally made me realize that those moments were as important as also playing a show for the people, you know. I think very interesting.
That's fascinating. I just love the process of I can't play music at all. I just happen to be a music junkie. So this is why we started this, to really figure out what our favorite bands, like what makes them tick, and those little idiosyncrasies that you guys go through to make us all happy.
Yeah, no, and it's definitely that, like energy. You know, we missed. We playing a lot of shows online, and I love them, but it gets to that point where you're like, I really miss having this connection with, even if it's with one person that like your music, but you having a deep conversation with that person. It's the best thing that you can have as an artist, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you guys have any live shows on the horizon?
Yeah, just today it was announced that we're going to be playing Treefort Music Festival.
Cool.
There's some other dates that we'll post pretty soon, that we're playing around Washington, mostly outdoor venues. We do have one kind of half live show in at Growler Guys here in Seattle. That's kind of like, we're going to be in a separate room, I think, and then they're live streaming it to the patio, I think.
Yeah.
Which is going to be interesting. And then also I think they're live streaming it to Facebook and other platforms.
It's interesting, like
The
performances.
development
Yeah,
of
it's crazy how
bringing it back.
everything has changed. How it's like we're always, you know, as a band, we're always open to like new things. So we're always like, let's try something new and see where it gets us, you know.
Absolutely. Oh, I miss live shows. I miss movie. That's what I miss, going to the movies.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, like the movies were like a big also. I mean, like there is a lot of movies that are directed by a lot of like Mexicans, so it was nice to go and see them before like the pandemic, you know. Yeah, I was
You ever seen Amores Perros?
Oh yeah. That's one of my favorites. She hasn't seen it, but
I'm really scared of the dog violence. I'm like, no, I can't. It's like a horror movie. But I know that director is really incredible.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of the other movies.
All right. So you can visually, for those listening, we're gonna have to describe this as best we can. What earrings are both of you wearing right now?
What?
Earrings.
Earrings. I'm wearing a earring that I bought at Hot Topic.
Okay.
Like what was it, like months ago? I don't know. I haven't been at the mall in a while, and I knew that, like, you know, Hot Topic and like all of these places had like really cheap.
We're sponsored by Hot Topic. If you go in there, you hear all of our music. You know, we're just talking to the kids.
No, I don't know. It was very cheap, so I went there.
I was gonna ask you if you're sponsored by Hot Topic.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I guess.
We're trying. Maybe this is all a ploy to get it. This is like, it's like when the bands like hate on each other. Oh no, they copied you. No, you copied me, and it's really all just a ploy to get into the media. Maybe that's the thing. That's like, I'm pretty sure that's the deal with Hot Topic. Like we're saying, oh, we're sponsored, and they're gonna be like, no, you're not, but maybe they are. Maybe that's the sponsorship.
Shout out to Hot Topic. Sponsor the podcast too, please.
Yeah. Come on, throw some money in there.
Yeah. Get some good bands. Update your shirts.
My dog said.
Oh, what's the dog's name?
Yeah.
Buster. This is our real sponsorship. We're sponsored by Buster.
I know my producer is like geeking out at the dog right now. She loves that.
It's so funny because when we're just here, he doesn't like pay attention to us, but as soon as we're like doing something, he comes and is like, really?
He's trying to be involved. He's trying to be involved.
Of course. It's like a kid, you know? It's like, look at me. And then, do you have feathers in your hair?
I got feathers. Yeah, it's hard to see because I got that pandemic hair where I never washed it or anything. I really should have washed it for today. But yeah, are they glued?
Are
Did
they
you say?
real?
They're real. They're real feathers. I buy them off of farmers. You can find them at the farmers market, or you can go on Etsy, and there's a lot of farmers that will sell the feathers that have molted from their chickens. And they're great because they're natural, so they wash, you know, like chickens, they get wet, they're like out and about in the rain. Ideally they're out and about, and so like, you know, they'll get wet and they'll get dry, and so it works really well with hair if you put them in your hair.
It looks lovely.
Thank you.
Uh, this is a perfect segue. Would you both ever let your mom cut your hair?
Oh, my mom cut my hair when I was little so much. I look ridiculous in those photos. So no, not anymore. You know, it was one of those like where she puts like
A bowl.
a bowl and it's just like that.
You need to send us pictures. You need to send.
Oh,
You got some.
I got a lot of them.
You can send you. I'll remind him. Yes, they're good. They're really good. I think they're great. Yeah, I would let my mom. I would definitely let my mom cut my hair. She does her own a little bit, like just maintaining it. And I would totally let her maintain my hair. I think we both my mom and I have discussed this process, and we're like, can we cut each other's hair? And we're like, to a point. We're not gonna go style it, but we can maintain it. We can pull through for the next till the next, haircut appointment with a professional.
You have to do it at the same time, like face each other, and then do it together. Like,
Yeah.
We could do a haircut train too, where
Yes.
my mom cuts my hair and I cut your hair, and well, somebody's got to cut my mom's hair, I suppose.
Yeah.
You can cut her hair. Oh, triangle. Okay, there you
Where
go.
are people?
Yeah.
People that like join
That's
in.
true. Yeah,
Haircuts.
just grab somebody off the street. Hey, you.
With the best hair, obviously.
Mhm,
Gotta,
True.
judge them by that.
Yeah.
This podcast is all about hygiene. Where do you clip your fingernails? And I'll tell you why I asked this question.
Me first. Okay. Me
Me.
first. Where doesn't matter. I use my mouth, I guess. And
So hygienic.
I mean, I wash my hands first, of course.
Yeah, really? All the time?
No.
Ever since the pandemic.
Ever since the pandemic started, I wash my hands.
Okay.
And I don't know. I always done that since I was little. I am very anxious person, and I'm always like. But fortunately, they're good. They're not like in bad condition. Will you say?
They're pretty good. You also have the nail files that you finish them off with. So I feel like
I never use that.
Wow. Well, I
never
just found 5 when I was going through that box of stuff. So
Yeah.
get to using them. They're not inexpensive, let me tell you. $1.99. You better, if I pay $1.99 5 times, that's $5.99. Yeah, something like that.
How about you?
Buster also wants to say that that's his method. He bites his nails. He cuts his own nails. He bites them the same way that Yuli bites them off.
You gotta be careful with dogs because you can't cut them too short.
No, we actually, I was trying to file him down. He hated it. And so he actually does it himself. He's sometimes. And I just check them afterwards. And if they need a little bit, then I'll go. But otherwise, he takes care of it mostly. So
you're changing the topic. What about you?
Everybody wants to know. I'm so sorry.
Everyone wants to know.
I know.
Your
well,
know what you do with it.
No, I'm super basic. I cut them in the. It's nice to do it after the shower,
Lies.
Okay. I don't know why I would lie about that. Of all the things, I cut them in the bed. And then I put them under his pillow.
No.
Yeah.
Sprinkle.
That's what it is. Sprinkle. It's like when you lose a tooth, when I stopped running out of those, I was like, well, these are basically another, they look like it, so maybe I can trick the tooth fairy, but I don't want to smell my own toenails, so I'll put them under his sheet, under his pillow.
You got to do that now. Next time you're sleeping.
Yeah.
So that's disgusting.
Yeah, it's very. I don't know why he kept going. I was like, okay.
Because you took it
So
there.
much
I was telling
information.
the truth, and you were like, not interesting. And so I made up a story, and you were like, I don't like it either. So I don't know. I'm just trying to please these two here, but nothing seems to be working. So we can move on.
You're doing great. The reason I asked is I've seen many people do it in public.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, that's not good.
Also, I've been yelled at by significant others by doing it in the like in the sink in the bathroom, and then they've yelled at me, and I'm like, well, where am I supposed to do it?
Yeah.
Where the fuck am I supposed to
Where did they do it?
I have no idea because I don't care.
Wow.
Shit, they could put it under my pillow.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's that. I mean, yeah, we'll definitely not do it in public, but yeah, I mean, like if it's your own home, like if you're doing it at home, I think that's pretty reasonable. I think.
You do it in the car and then spit it in the passenger seat floor. That's what you do.
Yeah, there you go. If it's your car, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you, and that this is through research, how do you define, this is what you guys have been called, is art punk? How do you define that?
I think it's how I define it. It's like not only the music, but also like we all have like different types of artwork that we make, like video, like she does. I do a lot of painting. So it's kind of like everything involved in the sonic music, but also like visually and like the experience. We really liked playing live because we always have like different a different show, you know, and I think that that's very important as a band. And for us, it was like what made us a little grow a little bit faster. It was because we really wanted to take care of that like live show. Like we wanted to show something different that what you will probably hear when you listen to us or when you see us live on the internet, you know, like it's a total different experience. So I think that's what we wanted to do with the art punk label, I think.
Some bands are given like a label that like a writer or someone else gives them, and so I don't know, I just thought it's cool. It's not a bad label. It's just you know. That leads me to how did you guys come about like switching instruments, and do you plan that like in a live show?
Just I think through the writing process mostly. We kind of like goes along with the art part of art punk is like when you're an artist, you're not like just a musician, so you're not like tied to like one type of any kind of instrument, but any type of tool too. So we switch up our tools as artists too. So one song I might be on keyboards, another I might be on, I've been on drums in the past, but recently for the performance I've kind of been doing more guitar in this one, because I think I'm just kind of gravitating and settling towards that. But Yuli still switches on bass and drums with our third. So yeah. Just how we express things differently on instruments for whichever.
Yeah, but I also think that Alaia, even though like at live shows, she might not switch. Like when we write, Alaia is the one that does like a lot of the arrangements for playing music. So you will do like piano, you will do like harmonies, you will do like guitar. So I think like it's still like involved in like that like changing thing. It's not only like, oh, I'm focusing on like the guitar for this writing songs. It's like we always try to put a little.
I think it's so fascinating, and you guys are crazy talented. And how do you decide which songs you sing in English versus Spanish, Espanol?
Yeah, well, I think it's like usually like we come up with, or I do actually come up with the lyrics after I hear the song. Some melodies sound better in Spanish, you know, and like No Llores, I really like that like guitar, very spacey guitar. And there's some words in Spanish that I like to use that kind of have like the same what you call it, like sound wave or like whatever it is that kind of match that sound. And that's when I'm like, okay, like this definitely has to be in Spanish because it's like it will sound cool, you know. And yeah.
So it's more natural, not
fluid. Yeah. And then there's some songs where I'm like, no, this definitely like needs to be in English, you know. And like sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to sing this, but it doesn't work. And I'm like, Alaia, you have to, you know, like this is definitely a song that you have to sing.
For this new album or these new songs that we're writing, and we plan on releasing some singles throughout this new year here. It's not new anymore, we're already in the 4th month. Anyways, so I thought it was interesting that like we've been, kind of the way we've been switching back on and forth, for example, like with that one of the songs that we will release called Leaving My Light On. I feel like we kind of almost helped each other write each other's lyrics. Like we actually had a writing session for like literally writing them down and kind of talking through each other's experiences and what we were trying to say. And you ended up singing in English and I ended up singing in Spanish. And we were trying to like talk and be like, well, what are you trying to say here? What's the story you're trying to tell? And how can we what's the best way to represent that feeling in like this sentence here or that sentence there? Because we would like say the whole phrase and be like, okay, well, we're not going to say this paragraph like right here in this one chorus. So how can we shorten it?
Yeah, it shows like both sides of our of who we are, because she's Latina, I'm Latino, but we both, she was born here in the US, I was born in Latin America, so I grew up speaking Spanish, and it's like for this song we switch roles. Or like I'm singing in my second language and she's singing in her second language. So it's like I don't know. It was very interesting because I wrote the lyrics in Spanish, but then I translated them and I showed it to her. I was like, "Can you make sure like they're like good English?" And so it was definitely like a good writing process. It's fun writing with Alaia, honestly.
That's
You're
cool.
okay.
You guys ever want to do a whole album in like one or the other?
Probably, yeah. I mean, if it's like that, actually will be a cool album. Like having like side A like in Spanish and side B in English.
I'd be down.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
awesome.
Okay. When's the last time you had Tres Leches cake?
We had Tres Leches lattes this morning.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was this place who had like a flavor Tres Leches. It was good,
Oh, I want that.
Yeah, but then Tres Leches cake.
It's been a long time.
It's been a while.
Months.
Do you like carrot cake?
I do. I actually do like carrot cake. I do. But
why don't you agree with him?
No.
You're supposed to have the same opinion as this person who we've never met.
Well, it depends what type of carrot cake. Because the one that they made at the place that I used to work at, a coffee shop, it was like homemade, so it was nice. It was good.
I'm like okay with it. Like I can take it or leave it.
I'm not choosing. I don't hate it, but I'm not choosing.
Yeah. How many carrot cakes have you had though?
In my life?
Like different like brands or
carrots.
Conservatively, I'm gonna say no more than 20.
That's still a lot. That's a lot more than I've ever eaten.
Yeah, probably more than
you probably don't like them. You probably shouldn't have any more.
I only had it twice and I was like, this is good.
I've had it and I've always been like, okay. You know what's really good? It's good if you have like a cup of coffee with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think. How
do you take your coffee?
Oh, espresso all the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. I like it well because we have an espresso machine.
Yeah.
We got a little espresso machine here during the pandemic.
I love it.
Yeah, so we like espresso. I also like black coffee. I actually had a light roast coffee at my workplace the other day, and I didn't think I was gonna like it because I've had dark roast all my life, and I didn't think it was gonna be good. I always thought light roast was gonna taste like watery, but it actually has more caffeine in it. I didn't know that.
Yeah, like at Starbucks, if you get the blonde one, there's more caffeine in it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know. It wasn't bad. Yeah, it depends. I would say coffee is like a situational thing, like how you take it. Like, are you gonna have it like I don't know? Are you gonna have it like just right here, a quickie, espresso, or are you having it with a cake? And maybe you need a latte to go with it. So you can do this.
Yeah. So being in Seattle, how do you feel about Starbucks? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you not care?
I honestly, I mean, I don't care because there's so much like small businesses. Everybody drinks coffee that I feel like all the small coffee shops really like do well. Well, I'm gonna talk about like the ones that I know. Like, there's a lot of people who like Starbucks, and there's a lot of people who like local coffee shops, and I think they both are doing well. I
Like
think.
the one we went to this morning was Café con Todo.
Mhm.
That's where we got our Tres Leches
Yeah,
latte.
and they do also like salsa dancing too. Like they have a one room for like the coffee shop, and then they have another room where they teach like salsa and bachata. It's pretty cool.
Let's go there next time I'm in Seattle.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
I feel like it's funny that you ask about Starbucks in reference to Seattle, because I'm usually like, Starbucks is a thing when you go outside of Seattle. Like whenever we leave and we're like in the middle of nowhere and we're like, I have to take a shit. And then we're like, find a Starbucks.
Find a Starbucks. Yeah. Starbucks is like the only ones that will let us use their bathroom, you know?
Yeah, because they have that policy where it's like, don't ask.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
if you need to use the bathroom, just give it to them. So
Yeah.
it's like, and
Don't
then like it's also like fine to like, it has some things if you need something.
Usually when we will go out and we want coffee, like you know, like we're going to the East Coast, you know, like sometimes like coffee's not what you expect. So it's like,
Yeah.
you go Starbucks is like the closest thing.
I didn't know, because we've talked to other Seattle bands, and it's like it's either a love hate, like one of those things. So
Yeah.
I get it. They're corporate. I wouldn't choose them unless I had to use the bathroom.
Yeah, totally. That's how we feel. Like I will not go in there if I didn't have to go to the bathroom. Or sometimes for some reason I find like gift cards that I had from, I don't know from where, but I've been using them, and that's the only reason why I go to Starbucks. So I find like gift cards that people give me.
I have the app, and I feel like they give me a gift card just every like few months. So it's kind of great just to be like, oh, I want like a cup of coffee, or like they also have like little salami packets, and so you can be like, it's free. Why? Why not?
Taking something from a corporation, you know?
Yeah, we're like
Shout
Robin
out
Hood.
to Starbucks. Sponsor the band Starbucks and sponsor the podcast.
The podcast.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna be like dressed in Hot Topic and drinking Starbucks lattes by the end of this interview.
Frappuccinos.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite sound?
Buster's like,
like
Anything.
the sound in general.
Anything in the world. It could be like laughter, or
I really like the sound of you know, at night when you're trying to sleep and then you hear like cars going.
Yeah.
I find that very peaceful. Like
I agree.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
I like it when you're going, if you go out camping or if you're out in the wilderness and you're under like some kind of structure that's open but like still has a roof over your head, and it starts raining, and it's like you're not getting hit by the rain, but you're hearing the rain outside, and then it also creates a smell that goes with it, like the when it's damping like the soil. It's really nice.
Do you know what the name of that smell is? There's a name for it.
Ooh.
Oh, it's the smell.
Yeah.
Is it?
I don't know.
Rainy dewdrops?
Yes, yes. It's called petrichor, I think is how you pronounce it.
Wow.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
That's our new album name, Petrichor.
Actually, it's
It's not bad. I feel like it's kind of like early 2000s, but I bring it back.
If we were corn for like Linkin Park.
It's the sound that's outside. Oh no, it's the smell.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
If you use it, just give us a shout out in the liner notes.
Yeah.
Sponsored by bothering the band.
We'll throw you some money. We'll throw you some Starbucks gift cards.
Great.
Do you have a remedy for the hiccups?
Yeah, you're supposed to like you gotta have to like distract the person. So like do hiccup. Go ahead. Watermelon, like something like that.
That's my new favorite sound. Is Yuli doing the hiccup sound? Can you do it again?
I don't know. What's it
It's
like?
higher. It was too high. Like there you go. I feel like this is when I'm trying to get you to do a harmony.
We really ask the hard-hitting questions. Like we're real journalists here.
Mhm.
I love it.
I appreciate your diligence and research.
If you had a pet hawk, what would you name it?
Pet hunk.
Or a pet chicken? since you-
A hunk. A hawk who's a hunk. Maybe we should name him Hunk the Hawk.
Yes. Or a pet chicken.
What was the question?
It was, I feel like we just answered it, but it was if we had a pet hawk, which is that where it's like,
Uh-huh.
then it's like, what would you name it? And I said, you said Hunk, and I was like, maybe he's Hunk the Hawk.
Oh, I don't get it.
Because it's like alliteration, and that's like a great tool for writing lyrics, and we've used it a lot in our music.
Yeah.
And I used it in this joke, and you didn't laugh at it.
I'm laughing. Also, bravo on alliteration because I love alliteration.
Thank you. Thank you. Somebody gets it.
That's awesome.
I also love that this podcast is nothing but weird sounds.
Is this your podcast? Like your
Yeah.
whole podcast is weird sounds, or is it just this one with like?
It's just
with-
your episode.
Great.
The hiccups, the hawks.
What if the hawk's name was
Hiccup.
Hawk? Wait, no, Hunk, the hiccuping hawk.
That's the name of your next album.
Wow, we gotta do so great.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, if you had to choose one Seattle band, Fleet Foxes or Taco Cat,
For what?
just anything.
I definitely choose Taco Cat. Yeah, or the Fleet Foxes.
Oh, over the fleet.
Yeah.
I said or the fleet.
No. Like I'm gonna be honest. I never really heard of Fleet Foxes. They're not too popular in like Latin America, or maybe they are. I don't know. But but they're like Taco Cat is more popular in Latin America, or in the friends that I have. And I've been, and I know them, so they're really fun. And I don't know anybody from the Fleet Foxes. So if they want to hit me up and want to have a party, then we'll think about it. But
Yes. They want you to do hiccup sounds on their next album.
yeah, I'm gonna have to charge them, but because I don't know them. So.
I really like the Fleet Foxes. I don't know what I would choose them over because I need more information. But I will say like Taco Cats, like Yuli said, are like they're some of our friends. I also just really like how they perform. So there's like a lot of strength there. But I also want to say that I really love Fleet Foxes for their harmonies and arrangements, and there's some real strong suits there. So I would say it depends. It's like in a Pokemon card game or like Magic the Gathering.
Like which one you would use?
You need them both in your deck to make a stronger deck. And then like if somebody like puts like, I'm thinking of all Northwest bands, but like Parquet Courts on the battlefield. I know, but that's the first one I thought that wasn't the Northwest. I saved myself. So if somebody puts Parquet Courts on the battlefield, then I could be like, okay, Taco Cat, go! And then they'll get all Scott Pilgrim
Battle of the Bands
in there. Yeah. And so
Battle of the Seattle bands. So that's a good question though. Like, are there any Seattle bands that you guys love that most people wouldn't have heard of? Like, of course, I could have asked Nirvana or Soundgarden.
Yeah.
That, but we try to go off the rails?
I really like this is another Latin American band, Terror Cactus. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
You say it again.
Terror Cactus, like Terror Cactus.
I have never heard of that.
Terror Cactus.
Yeah.
He's a guy from Argentina, lives here in Seattle, makes like cumbia, psychedelic cumbia, and mixes a lot of like nature sounds. Like he goes down to South America all the time and like grabs sounds from from the nature and makes his own music, cumbia, and he has a KXP session too.
Oh, cool. Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, and I think he's one of the ones that I think every time somebody asks me like who will you recommend from Seattle, I think like Terror Cactus will be one.
I'm gonna throw out a few if that's
Yes,
okay. So Jaomi is the first one that comes to mind. And they're like kind of punk, kind of like very melodic punk, but like with a violin, and it's really cool and very high energy. And then there's Black Ends, and the Wednesdays, and Medellin. Rachel's Children is another great one. They're I don't know if that might be a pandemic be gone band, but assuming they're not, maybe they'll come back after the pandemic. They're a really great live show, very like artistic live performance. And of course, like there's always, I mean, I think people might know them like at least more than they would know us, but the Black Tones are another one of our good buddies.
Black Tones?
Yeah.
Wow, I got a lot of new music. I love it.
Yeah, no, there's, a lot of people might not know this, but there's like a lot of bands, like really good bands here in Seattle. Like it's incredible, like where we are. It's as a Seattle band, you always have this thing of like grunge, like
Of course.
powering everything. And it's harder, to kind of like try to jump that, but we're doing it, and we're trying to kind of like, I don't know if like separate ourselves, but we really want to create something, that not overpower that, but create something new, for like newer generations and like new sounds too,
That's very well said. And you guys are all part of that. You should be so proud. We're such big fans, and this is a great moment to go like tell us what's next, what you're working on, what you want to promote, anything like that.
Well, right now we're in the works of of a lot of big plans. We're trying to go down to Mexico. We're trying to record some videos for a new single. So we have a lot of stuff that we were supposed to release last year that gave us a little bit more time to think about them this pandemic. So that was like the good thing about it. And so our plans is so far 3-4, and we'll keep you updated.
We'll probably have a single released a few weeks before 3-4.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing kind of on our agenda to come back out into the world in terms of going past any kind of live shows that are just local. We'll be sharing some music across nationally, internationally too, as well, I suppose, because we'll be going down to Mexico to do some filming for it as well. So new single, new music video, and touring to Treefort, possibly with or without some dates around it in other cities, depending on like the pandemic and what's open or not, and what's safe to do. So keep an eye out for all those things around September, and maybe a little bit right before September as we make announcements.
That's great. That's amazing. Everyone follow them on Instagram. It's Tres Leches Band, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Go follow
Thank
them.
you.
This has been so much fun. Thank you both so very much.
Thank you. This was fun. This definitely, we enjoyed it.
And on that note, we cue the music. Thank you guys so much.
adelante.